is Splunk? Splunk is a SIEM tool, okay, which is, we can say that which is a great weapon for the SOC analyst. Okay, with the use of this tool, a SOC analyst can defend the organization, okay, from the attacker. So like it stand for the security information and event management tool. Okay, and what is the use of this? It collect, monitor, and provide us a search and analyze logs. Okay, so how as a SOC analyst going to be get help from this SIEM tool? Okay, so apart from the Splunk, we have many SIEM tool. Okay, like we have a QRadar, we have a nowadays 40 SIEM also. Okay, which is developed by the Fortinet vendor. Fortinet, you guys already aware that who is belonging from the IT domain. So Fortinet is a very big name of the in the firewall domain. Okay, so that 40 SIEM have developed by the Fortinet. And same way we have a Sentinel. Apart from the Sentinel, we have a Verzu, okay, Elastic, and many more we have. Okay. So, okay, like for now you can don't see for the Splunk also. Okay, all SIEM tool going to help in the threat detection, incident response, and continuous monitoring. Okay, and why any SIEM tool is important for this SOC? Because it's provide the real-time attack detection. Okay, any of the SIEM tool, it can be Splunk or any other also. It provide a real-time attack detection, and also it provide a centralized log monitoring. Okay, we no need to open different tools and other things. Okay, if we have any SIEM tool, we can monitor our complete environment also. But to increase our security, we are using the like EDR and XDR tool also. But we can integrate that tool also with our Splunk or any SIEM tool. Okay, we can integrate a EDR and XDR also with this tool. So faster incident response, powerful search using SPL. Okay, so Splunk, why it is famous? Because it provide you the powerful search using SPL. Okay, and used by the top companies globally. Okay, as many of you are already aware that, okay, Splunk used by the many of the MNC companies. And what type of logs we collect on this Splunk? Like firewall logs, we can connect a Windows event logs, we can collect your Linux logs, we can connect also web server, antivirus, EDR, and cloud log also we can collect from the any of device we have, we can collect the logs in our SIEM tool. Then what SOC analysts do using this Splunk? They search for the suspicious activity, investigate alerts. They can create a dashboard also. With the use of this tool or any SIEM tool, it can detect the malware, brute force. Brute force is one of the attack which attacker using to get access of your credential. Okay, any user or any credential trying to get the password. And data exploitation. So data exploitation is like a whenever in high volume of data going outside from the organization. Okay, so that we call a data exploitation. And also with the use of SIEM tool, we can generate a security reports also. Okay, we have it's provided many things. So if we talk about the Splunk, so in the Splunk we have a three main component. Okay, these are the three main component, but apart from this we have many more. Okay, like we have a deployment server also is there, license meter is also there, but these three are the main component. Okay, the first one is indexer, the second is search head, and the third one is forwarder. So what forwarder is doing? With the use of forwarder, we can collect the logs. Okay, sure. Okay, Kunal, you will get. Okay, no worries. So forwarder we are using to collect the logs from the any of the server. Okay, like Windows server, it's Linux server. Okay, we can connect the logs from the servers. But for the firewall, router switch, okay, and any network device. We are not installing this forwarder, okay. What we are doing, we just do the syslog configuration that protocol we are using, that we call a syslog configuration. Okay, so this forwarder we are utilizing only in the OS, okay, where we are installing the OS. OS can be any, it can be Linux, it can be Mac OS, it can be your Windows operating system or Windows Server. Okay, in the Windows we have a two operating system. Okay, normal Windows which we are using generally, Windows 10, Windows 11 like that, and the other product of Microsoft is Windows Server. Okay, then what is the role of indexer? It take the data from the forwarder, okay, and it going to store all your logs, okay, and do the processing and everything. Many things indexer do. It do the processing, it do the indexing, okay, many part we are doing. So once you know join the course, then we will discuss this in the more depth. Then we have a search head. So what search head provide is used by the SOC analyst to search, okay. With the use of search ahead only, we can do the searching of any logs. If suppose any alert have trigger, so with the use of search ahead, you can fetch the logs. So whenever we are pulling the logs from the Splunk or any SIEM tool, that what we call a fetching, okay. So we can fetch a logs from the with the use of search head, okay, and do the analysis. I will show you this part, okay. This part we're going to see the practically all, okay. And deployment server, which I was talking about. So deployment server is used for the manage all your agent. Agent means your all forwarder, index, okay. In the organization, okay, just a moment, let me, I have a, okay, just give me a moment, let me show you the one quick diagram for you, right. Okay, let me know once my this picture going visual to you. Are you guys able to see the picture in which I have already drawn a diagram of this architecture? Okay. What about the others? Okay, okay. Thank you for the confirmation. So you see, in the Splunk we have a three architecture. Okay, let me zoom it more. So the first one is standard, and also we call a standalone architecture. Okay, and the second one is distributed architecture. Third one is going to be our clustered Splunk architecture. So what is the difference is that in the standalone, all the component, okay, like indexer, search head, and deployment server going to be run on the single server. Single server means single Windows server operating system or Ubuntu server, okay, means single machine. It can be virtual, it can be a physically, okay. Virtual means many organization using the VM, okay, to create a separate server, okay. So all component going to be installed inside of the only single machine. In the distributed, all these component going to be installed in the multiple server. Okay, like in the one of the server is going to be installed the forwarder, and one of the server is going to be installed the Splunk, and in the one server is going to be installed a your search head. Then third we have a cluster one. So generally organization using this architecture. Why? Because in this architecture we are using the multiple indexer or multiple search head. So what benefit we are getting if suppose due to any issue, if any indexer went down, okay, then still we have other indexer. With the use of this indexer, we can fetch a logs. Okay, same way, if search head went down, so with the use of other search head, we can fetch a logs. Okay. So how data is flowing? If you see, let me zoom out a little bit. If you see the picture here, in the left hand side, we have a our all component, okay, like firewall, we have a desktop, we have a network switch. Okay, let me zoom it. Okay, we have a network switch, then we have a router, then we have a laptop, okay, and multiple laptop, and then desktop, okay. So what forwarder is doing, it collect the logs from these different sources, then it going to forward to the indexer, okay. Logs going to be forwarded to the indexer, and all your logs, okay, whatever activity is going on here, all logs going to be stored here, okay. It can be any activity, maybe you are logging in your Windows server, okay, any single activity, whatever activity is there, if you are doing any minor activity also, it generate a logs, okay. So that logs going to be stored in the indexer, okay, which going to be collected by the forwarder and then forwarded to the indexer. And then whenever SOC analyst, okay, SOC analyst, whenever it going to search the logs in the search head, so it will send the request to the indexer. That then indexer going to work on that, and it will provide the response. Okay, then we will see the result here. Okay, this part is clear. Anyone have doubt in this part? Guys, anyone have any doubt or any question? So indexer is a, everything fit. Okay. Okay. So that indexer is like, who, okay, the indexer in every books, we have an index in the first page. You are aware that, guys? In the every books, we have in the first page index. So what is the use of that index? It helps us to find any topic quickly. Am I right? Same way, indexer also doing the indexing. First of all, it store your logs completely and then do the parsing activity. Parsing activity, we can say that, okay, whenever this device generate a logs, that going to be into unstructured format. So this indexer make that logs into structured format, okay, and then it also do the indexing. Yes, yeah, Arvind, you can say that, okay. It can do the then indexing. So in the indexing, like just like in the book, okay, just logs consist every information, Siddharth, okay, any information. Even if you are login in your device, if you open the any software, if you open any file, if you close any file, anything, whatever activity, even if you are joined with your laptop, you are taking the session with the use of Zoom meeting application or web browser, that logs also going to be generated. Okay, is it's a piece of information. Okay, logs, we can say that piece of information which help us SOC analyst understand what going on in the devices. So how index help us? Okay, how index help the that is Splunk. You see, if suppose this is the one bucket in which we have a multiple colors of ball. Okay, okay, we have a multiple colors of ball here. Okay, so suppose if I am going to ask you bring the red color of all the box. No, Kunal, it's not like a keylogger. What keylogger is doing, it's going to, whatever key you are typing, everything going to be recorded. But here, Splunk going to record every backend activity also, okay, which is not done by the any person, okay. Splunk going to record even whatever automation activity is going on in the backend part, even operating system activity also going to be recorded by this any SIEM tool, okay. It can be not Splunk, it can be any SIEM tool. Okay, so keylogger is used for the like a that attacker using that keylogger to get the credential access and everything. Okay. So if you see, if I am going to ask you, okay, bring the red color all balls, then what going to happen? It will take time. Okay. If I'm going to ask you, bring all the red color ball from this bucket. So it's going to take time from, okay, to bring the all red color ball. Okay. You need to search from the multiple balls and then you have to bring it. Am I right, guys? It's going to take time. And suppose if I have, three bucket in which separately I have put all the balls. Okay. And if I'm going to ask you, bring the red color balls or blue color or green color. So that's going to be easy for you to bring. Okay. And you're going to fastly bring that all the balls. Am I right, guys? Just drop the message. Yes or no? Okay. Which one you think that going to be easy for you to bring the red color balls from this big bucket or from the small? Yeah. Only I have received the response from the Siddharth. What about others? Just type the from the big bucket or the from the small bucket. Which one going to be easy for you to bring the balls quickly? Firewall logs in the firewall index. Same way, Windows logs in the Windows index. Then cloud logs going to be cloud devices logs going to be in the cloud index. Okay. So whenever we search with the use of search ad, so it going to be easy for the Splunk to find the logs and bring us a result. Okay. If suppose if we are not making index, so that's going to be difficult for the Splunk. Okay. Because it will take time to Splunk bring the logs. Why? Because it have to search every ball and one by one they're going to pick the red ball. Okay, because it Splunk also have to spend some time to search a red ball in the complete bucket. Okay, so this part going to help by the indexer also. Okay, so we have a two type of forwarder. Okay, like universal forwarder, heavy forwarder. Okay, so little bit have different. Okay, universal have a lightweight, but heavy forwarder do the parsing activity. Okay, so what benefit we are getting if we use the heavy forwarder? So Splunk get a time to do other activity. Okay, if already logs are the parse, so that time indexer get a time to give us a result fastly. Okay, if we are using the universal forwarder, so that time indexer have to do the parsing activity. So indexer resource is going to be utilized that time. Okay, so maybe it will give the little bit delay result. If we are talking about the result, it's mean whenever we search, okay, how fast it provide the logs. Okay, in this search I will show you this part. Okay, just I'm giving you little bit overview. Okay, uh you see this part done by the indexer. What parts? Parsing, normalization, field extraction, data categorization. So that what I was explaining you. Okay, it make a small bucket of the every device. Okay, and then store the event. What does the indexer do? It convert the raw logs into structured field. Okay, which already we have discussed. Store logs as a searchable event. Makes logs ready for the SOC investigation. It acts like a centralized database. Store a logs from the correlate data for further analysis. Just just a moment. Okay, so before we, okay, we will not going to spend too much time on the theory part. Okay, so let me give you the little bit demo also. So before we start, you see, you are looking my screen. So who is already aware of the Kali Linux? Like someone is already have a experience in the, bug bounty and other part. So they are aware that this is the very useful tool for the attacker also and ethical hacker person also. Okay, both person. And this is our server. Okay, Windows server, which I was talking about. And this is our Splunk. Okay, so you see this, we have a search and reporting. This we call a search head. And I was talking about the, you see, indexer. Here we have a, this component. And here we have a forwarder and receiving. Okay, so we will do the configuration of this. I will show you that part. Okay, no worries. So what I'm going to show you now, I will show you how hacker, trying to break, okay, like attacker, any hacker trying to get access of Windows server. Okay, so how they're going to perform the logs, how they're going to perform the attack, and as a SOC analyst, we can say that digital police. Okay, so how we going to stop them? So how I'm going to do that part? Okay, that I'm going to show you. Just a moment. So before starting the analysis part, let me give you the overview. Okay, so here we need to GP edit. This is the place where from where you can enable the all your what type of logs you want to collect. Okay, let me give you. You see, here we have a account login policy. Okay, then account management, detail tracking, DS access, log and log off. Everything we need to enable. Okay, if we enable this all policy, that time only logs going to be generated. Okay, if we want to get the logs related to the log and log off, so that time you have to enable this policy. Okay, you see, by default this all are in the disable mode. Okay, so we need to configure. Okay, if like I will go first of them. If double click, just you need to double click. If I, you see what is saying, this policy setting allow you to audit event generated by the validation test on your user account login credential. Event in this subcategory occur only on the computer that is authority for the credential, for the those credential. Okay, if anyone trying to log in any type of login activity that going to done by the any user, so if we enable this policy, that time only it's going to be generated. Okay, otherwise it will not going to generate it. Just it's a very simple way. Just we need to click on the both option. Why? If someone do the success, that time also logs going to be generated. If someone do the failed, okay, that time also logs going to be generated. So this way we have to enable all. Okay, whatever logs you want to generate by your device. Saurabh, don't stretch, don't draw anything. Same way, if we need to enable this one also, because we're going to perform the brute force attack, so we require this log need to be generated. Okay, I didn't done anything. Why? Because I want to show you in the session. Okay, so how we need to enable every policy and everything. Okay, I have enabled. Same way we have other policy also like object access. If you want to generate a logs, if someone access the file or create any file, okay. If you are creating any Word file also in your device, if this policy going to be enabled, that logs going to be generated. Okay. If this policy is not enabled in your device, that time logs not going to be generated. Okay, related to that activity. So for now, we have required only for the log and log off. That's why I have enabled this part only. Now, second step, what we have to do to bring the logs here, we need to install the universal forwarder. Okay. So just we need directly you can type. Okay, this is the official site of the Splunk from where you can download any of their component. Now here we need to select our operating system. Okay, so right now I am using the Windows Server 2025. Okay, so that's why I'm going to select download this one. Just simply you have to click on the download. So if I will show you here, if I'm going to here, let me show you. I am going to type here anything, okay, like you see there's a no logs here. Why? Because I didn't forwarded any device logs till now, okay. And there is one more place where you can check forwarder and receiving. Okay, sorry, agent management. If you see here also, you see there's a no any agent is showing here. Okay, because I didn't install agent in the any of the device. So this forwarder we call a agent also. Okay. So if you see there's a no device information visible here till now. Once I'm going to install the universal forwarder and forward all their logs in this Splunk. So that time we can see the details also here. Okay. So let me show you. Simply we need to create it. Okay, right now I'm not going to give password here. Why? Because I don't require SSL certificate. Okay. When we require SSL certificate, whenever we want to access the Splunk outside of the organization, means from the in intra, intranet to the internet, means your internal network to the external network. If you want to use this Splunk in the external network, suppose you have configured your Splunk inside of the organization, but you want to access outside of the organization also. Okay, their console. So that time you required to configure this SSL certificate, okay, for the security purpose, okay. Generally in the organization, they configuring this SSL certificate, okay. Without SSL, they are not doing the configuration. But for now, we are skip that part. Now here we need to select on which device we are installing, okay, for the domain account or virtual. So for now, I'm going to select the local system because I want to collect the logs for the same device. Then here we need to select which type of logs you want to this universal forwarder have to collect from the device, this device, okay, in which I am installing. So I want application logs also, security logs also, system also. Okay, forwarder I don't want. Then setup logs also, CPU load, memory, disks, and network state. So CPU, if my CPU utilization going to be high, okay, when it's going to be went high, whenever someone performing the like DDoS attack like that, okay, so that time it's going to increase the utilization of CPU and memory. Okay, so I need to monitor that part and enable AD monitoring. So whenever I am installing this universal forwarder on the Active Directory is a one of the server which is used by the organization to manage the centralized manage the resources, users, and devices. Okay, if I am going to select this one also, there is a no issue. Now you have to configure the username and password. Now, here's the part. It's saying deployment server IP. Okay, so deployment server, we know that which we are using to monitor, manage all our component. Okay, so deployment server IP, where I'm going to get, I will check in my device. So what is my IP is 192.168.140.129. One forty nine. 140.129. Sorry, 129. Okay, we need to give the correct IP. Otherwise, it will not going to forward the logs. And I will use the same default port. Now it's asking receiving indexer. So right now I am using the architecture of standalone. So my deployment server, indexer, everything is the in the single machine. So I'm going to give the same IP here also. If you are using the distributed server, okay, distributed architecture, that time your deployment server IP and this IP going to be different. Then port is okay. Before installing the universal forwarder, I need to configure the same port. Okay, same you see 9997 port in our Splunk, because what we have done here, we have given the instruction to the universal forwarder. You have to collect these logs. You have to collect these logs from this device in which I am installing, and you have to forward to the here in this machine on this port. So port number is like a digital door. Okay, like in the our home we have a door. Okay, like if you want to use the kitchen, you have to open the door of kitchen. That time you're going to enter inside of the kitchen and you can use the kitchen equipment. Okay, same way if you want to take a rest, so that time you have to enter the bed. You have to open the door of your bedroom or your so then you have to open the door of bedroom and you have to enter and take the rest. Same way, if you want to use any of the service, so you have to open the port. Okay, that port we call a digital door. Also, you can understand like a digital door. So right now I'm saying you have to send the logs in this IP and on this port. Okay. So before that, I also have to give the instruction to the this our Splunk also. This one I have to collect. Okay, you can suppose like if you are throwing something. Okay, so someone is required to catch that okay, if you suppose you are throwing the any ball, so you require someone to collect that balls also. Okay, so that's why we have to configure here receiving port also. So if you remember, I was given the port number. What port number I have given here? Sorry, 9997. Okay, so I need to give the same port number. I am going to give the instruction to the Splunk. You have to collect the data which is coming on port number 9997. Then I need to click on the save. Okay, now it's configured. Just I need to click on the next and I have to click on the install. Okay, the installation have been done. Now just I need to click on the finish. Now if you see that, if I'm going to click here and then agent management. Okay, it will take a little bit time to reflect. You see, previously I was run the same query. That time I was not seeing any logs. Now you see, I'm seeing the logs. Okay. If you see here, if I'm going to click on the computer name, so what I'm seeing, Win F1EJ3Q. Okay, this number. Okay, and now let me show you. You see, same device name here also. QV2. Now here, if you see here, QV2. Okay, you saw that previously I don't have any device. Okay, now I am seeing the logs related to the my Windows server. Why? Because I have configured the universal forwarder and also I have configured the receiving port here. Okay, and after let me see if it's going to visual. Yeah, you see, now it's showing the inside of the agent management. Previously we don't have any agent, any information. Now you see, I'm seeing the device. Why? Because universal forwarder have installed in this machine. That's why I'm seeing the that details of the my machine, Windows Server machine. Okay, so this is the backend process which done by, you see everything I'm saying, which forwarder I have installed, what is the version of that forwarder, okay, what is the status. Okay, so everything I'm saying here. So anyone have a doubt till here, whatever we have covered till now? So we have seen the process how whenever you're going to join in the organization, but in the beginning level, this part not going to be your work. Okay, but we will learn this part also. Okay, we're going to learn this part also because we have to aware how logs is coming in the our Splunk. And now we know we're going to perform the one of the attack. Before performing the attack, we need to check we have a connectivity or not with the Windows server. Okay, we don't have a connectivity. Why? Because right now my Windows Server firewall is blocking activity. Okay, not giving the permission to ping. Okay, that's why. If I'm going to disable my firewall, or we can create a rules also. Okay, if I create a rule only, that time also it's going to be work. But I will directly, okay, if I want to create a rule, just I need to click a right click, then I have to click a new. Okay, I need to click on the custom. Okay, even I can only configure the one port also. Okay, custom. Then I'll be select all program. Okay, we have a both method, or we can disable, or we can generally in the organization we are configuring the rules in the firewall. Okay, because if we disable the firewall, so any attacker can perform the attack. Okay, that's why. Okay, what is asking in the organization, they giving the that particular IP which is only required to be communicate with the server. Okay, apart from that, all traffic going to be blocked by the Windows firewall. Okay, but here we are selecting the all. Allow the connection. Also, you can create a same for the block. Okay, and the same profile. Now I will give the Splunk inbound. And simply I have clicked. Now I have created a one policy. Okay, in my Windows firewall. Now I will show you. You see, now I am getting the response. You see that? Just I configure that that policy. Now I am receiving the response from the my Windows server. Now there's a one tool which used by the many attacker also and ethical person also to check how many port is open in the any of the server. So that is nmap. Just we need to type the simple nmap and we need to type the attacker that target IP. So if you see this much of port is open in my Windows server. Okay, and these are the services is running on that point. Okay, on 135 ms rpc is running, 445 is there, 598 is there, 8089 also there. Okay, why 8089 is there? Because we have configured what we have configured deployment server. Okay, that's why we're saying. Now if you want to perform the attack of brute force especially, so that time you require the ssh port need to be open. Okay, you required ssh port need to be open. So for that we need to go here again. Okay, one more thing I will show you. If right now I didn't configure any outbound rule, okay, just I have configured the inbound. Inbound means whatever traffic coming inside of this Windows server, so that going to be allowed, but outgoing traffic is not good. If I want to access, okay, if suppose I want to access this Splunk. Okay, if I want to access this Splunk in the Kali Linux, can I do that? Just let me check. Okay, let me show you. That will not going to be accessible. Why? Because I didn't configure any outbound rules. So we have to type the same way. You see, what was the URL is? HTTP. It's going to be HTTP. And then we need to type the IP. IP going to be this one. This is the local IP. Then we have to type the port number. Let me show you. It's going to be HTTP. Port number. Already I was told you. Okay, port number. Why we required to run any services? If you see here, whenever we run the nmap, that time also we are seeing the port 80. Now if I'm going to click here, okay, it's allow, but we have didn't given the permission. I think already I have done the configuration of. Okay, already I have done the configuration of policy. That's why. Okay, if I don't, okay, so generally in the organization, you're going to see the one device where you can directly, if you search here, you will see the Splunk. Okay, you see, because in this Windows server, I have installed the Splunk. Okay, but in the Kali Linux, I didn't install. So I'm not going to see the here that is Splunk. If I'm going to search here, okay, let me show you. If I will search here, you see, there is a no Splunk. Only I can access the Splunk from the browser. I have to give the IP of this Windows server because the Splunk have installed on the Windows server and the port number on 8000 port is this service is running. Okay, and if I can log in here also, I will do the access. You see, I can access from here also. If we have a connect, so in the organization, generally what they are doing, okay, generally what they are doing, they install Splunk in one of the server and then they provide you the link. Okay, so you use the this kind of link. Okay, yeah, that VIK, I think it's Vikas. Okay, Vikas, the dashboard going to be free. Okay, you can create it because we get us. Okay, guys, don't draw anything on the screen. Okay, don't draw anything. So, uh, Karthik is saying, sir, why they can spam it from the another machine then? Yes, correct. Okay, Karthik, that main server need to be active. Okay, that's the only way we can access the Splunk from the any machine. If main server going to be not active, okay, if main server is not active, then that time you will not going to be able to access the that Splunk. Okay, in which we have installed the Splunk, so that server need to be active. Then only we can access the Splunk. Okay, so what we have done till here, now we have seen we need to perform the attack so that SSH port is not open. So we need to open that one first. For that, we require the PowerShell. Generally in the organization, they enable this port. Okay, why? Because they also took the access of server and then do the some activity. So IT administration person also need to be. So for that, we have a command. So right now we have a OpenSSH install and server also installed, but maybe it's not going to be enabled. That's why we are not seeing that service. Okay. So to check that part, we need to type service, or it can be in the cap. Okay, you see this service in the stop state. That's why we are not seeing the here. Whenever we run the nmap, we didn't seeing the SSH service is running. Okay, now we need to enable this one. To enable, just we need to type the simple command. Okay. Now if I run the same command, you will see now it's running. If I will check here, now I'm going to run the nmap same way. You see now SSH port is open because I have enabled the services. Previously it's what not enabled. You see here, now it's enabled. So let me perform the attack and we will see. Let me show you one thing first. If you see here, okay, guys, let me quickly. Are you guys you know, learning something or getting bored? You want me to continue or you want me to end the session? Just quickly let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay. Vikas is saying exciting to see brute force logs. Okay. Okay. Satyam also saying continue, sir. It's interesting. Karthik also saying it's good. Okay, guys. So let's we continue. We will see the attack. So the most famous tool is Hydra. Okay. This tool we're going to use. But before that, we need to, there's a one, we need to enable the password txt file. Okay. That we call a, there's a, I will show you that. Okay. So first, I will run the command. I will show you what error. If you are not doing that step, so first of all, we need to type the tool name, which is our Hydra. And then we have to type the service on which service we want to perform. And then we have to type the target IP. And then we have to type the port number. Okay, so port number, what is that? 22. You see, here we have a port number 22. So that I have typed. Now after that, I will type, sorry. So if you are aware of the username, suppose you are aware of the username, okay, that in which you are performing the attack. If you are aware that username of, okay, you can use the, Hydra tool to perform any place. You can perform in the Windows machine. You can perform on the any website also. Suppose if you are aware that what is the username of this machine, okay, if you are aware that what is the username of this machine, So that time you have to type the small l. Okay, small l, and then type the username. Okay, if suppose you are not aware, that time you have to give the location of your, which is our, just a moment guys. It can be USR. This is the location where we have our that file. Okay, just a moment. I am getting one call. Let's just give me a call. Okay. Sorry, I was received the one call. Okay. So what we have to do that, first of all, we need to give the word list path from where this tool going to take the, that credential and data to make the combination of password. Okay. So the path is where you have that file. Okay. First of all, I'm giving the path and I will show you where we have this path. Word list, and what the name of file is rocku.txt. Then I have to give the password path. So here also I am not aware of the password. So then I will use a capital P. If I am aware of the path, suppose I am not aware of the username, so I will give the capital L and the path of the that word list. Okay. And if I am aware of the password, so that time I am going to give the small p and give the password here. But I am not aware of the password also. Okay, so let me show you. So I am giving you the same. You can create your word list also, but I am using the default one, in which we will this word list we will get with the Kali Linux. Okay, now there's one more thing. If I have used the this hyphen v. So hyphen v means visibility. So whatever this tool is doing, that going to be visible in the screen. If I'm not going to use hyphen v, it will not show the visibility. Okay. Now I have run. You see, this command not work. Why? Because it's saying the word list what I have given rocku.txt, it not found. Okay. Now we will get inside of the. So what was that? First of all, I need to take the root access. For the root access, I have to type the sudo su, then password. So root access is like a administrator access. So in the Linux, we are using the word root. Then I will type ls. I need to go back. Again ls. Here we don't have. Then again we need to go. So what was the first thing I have typed? /usr. So I need to get inside of this /usr. You see this one here. So cd space /usr. Enter. Now I am inside of the user. Now what next? I have a share. So I need to get inside of this folder. Now here, what was the third one is word list. So I have, you see here we have a word list. So how are you going to learn these things? Okay, if you have to be aware on which directory of the Linux what data going to be stored. Okay, so then you only going to find the correct path. Okay, now I have typed word list. You see, I am now inside of the. Now, what was the third one is rocku.txt. Okay, rocku.txt. But if you see here, rocku.txt, what after that is written dot gz. Dot gz. Okay, so dot gz means it's a, let me zoom it. Okay, we see dot gz. Okay, so gz is a zip file. So first of all, we need to unzip this one. Okay, rocku.txt. Okay, so to unzip, we need to type unzip, then the file name. Now, if you see that, now you see which file was in the red color. Now it's extracted. You see, gz is the short form of gunzip. Okay, so that's why I have used uses the gunzip. Just like in the Windows machine, we have a winzip like that. Okay, same way. In the Linux device, we have a gunzip. Okay, so I have just typed the gunzip and then I have typed the name. Now it's visual here. Okay, then if I'm going to now run the, if I'm going to run the command, and I will now going to perform the attack. So if you see, it will work. So first of all, I need to type sudo, and then I have to type the tool name, then same port number, then target IP, and then port number, sorry, port number, and then the path. What was the path? Slash, small here. So what was the path? Slash USR, then slash share, then slash word list, then slash, what was the file name? Rocku dot txt. Okay, this is the path our, okay, where I have a rocku dot txt file. Okay, you can change the path also. If suppose you have saved the word list file in the desktop, so that time you have to give the location of desktop. Then same, see the same path I have to type. Okay, now I will show you the difference. If I run without hyphen v, okay, if I'm running without hyphen v, then you will see it's ask the password. Now you see, you are not seeing anything, but attack is going on. You see, it's saying attacking to the SSH 192.168.140.129.22. Okay, if I'm so here, so if I'm going to type, okay, simple command. Okay, I'm going to use the simple one. Index equal to star. So when we are using star, whenever we want to search the blind search. Okay, now I will take the uh 31 minute of window. Now you see, okay, So what I have did previously, I am not seeing the field name. So I have, I have enabled then all field. Okay, just you need to go inside of this. Okay, you have to click here. Then you have to select all the field. Previously, it was selected to the 1% only. That's why we are seeing the less field. Okay, but for the analysis, we required more data. You see, continuously I am seeing receiving the data. You see, continuously I am receiving. Why? Because attack was going on. Okay, let me show you. So if you see here, this is the real time. I have selected the 1 minute. That's why I am seeing the live. Whatever logs is coming, I am seeing the live. You see here, count also is changing. Okay, and if I select the last 15, last 16, so that means it's going to be so the old logs. But here I have selected the 1 minute window. So in the 1 minute, whatever activity is going on, that I am going to see here. And now, if you want to see how attack was going on, okay, right now attack is going on, but we are not able to see. So for now, I will stop the attack. You just have to press the Control C to stop the attack. Okay. Now again, but this time I am going to use the -v. Now you're going to see what changes you're going to see after I have if I type the -v. Now you see, you are seeing whatever activity this Hydra tool is doing, you are seeing why? Because I have used the -v. You see, target is my server IP. Then this is the login user. It's using the user. It will use the different user. Once it will complete the combination of all password. You see, first it's use the one user and then making the combination of password. You see, different password. Okay, see that? How fast is performing the attack, and our CPU utilization also increase because of this. You see, it's using 8489. And once it will done with the this user, it will start to make the second user, and again it will make the all the combination of this password. Okay, just like it's making right now. Now I will check for the last 50-minute logs. So if you see here, whatever we have selected the, that time, whenever we are installing the universal forwarder, this all are the field name. Okay. In every field, you have a data, some of the information which you require. Okay. If you see here, event code, where- so you see 4625, high number of counts here. Why? 4625 is the event ID of login field. If I select this one, now you're going to see. You see, this is our computer name where attack was going on. Okay, I need to expand here. I will click here. You see the failure reason, unknown username or bad password. And if the workstation name, this is our Windows Server name. And on which services were running, that is SSH. Okay, on SSH we are performing, that's why we are getting the SSH. Okay, here also you see every information you are seeing, and continuously we going to see the logs. It's going to be increased. Right now you see 11,662. If I'm going to search again, you're going to see the more count. Why? Attack is going on continuously. You see, now it's 12,716. Again, if I'm going to search, okay, I need to take a more time. I will take 60 minutes. You see, now it's 13,774. Again, if I'm going to search, and now if we want to see the alert, okay, suppose if we want to see the alert, so we need to configure that one. So simple way, we can create a dashboard also for this attack, and we can see how attack is going on, and we can create a use cases also. Okay, some of the demo dashboard also is there. Okay, if you want to create, just simply you have to go create new dashboard, and you can if you know how to write the query in this Splunk, so you can create a use cases also, or you can create a dashboard also. Okay, you see, we have a two type, classic and dashboard studio. In the dashboard studio also we have a more two type. Okay, so I will show you here. You see, absolute and grid. In the absolute you're going to get the free, whatever size you want, how long, how, uh, uh, what is the size of the your every box. You can make your own way. You don't you have a restriction here. If you select the grid, so here you will get a little bit restriction. Okay, let me quickly show you. If I go with this one, I need to give the name any. If I will give the test, now I will select the grid one, or I will take a absolute one. Okay, okay, let me create one. I will show you the spike. Okay, see the benefit of this. I can stretch and make large and small. according to my requirement. Okay, and here I need to type the query. Okay, without query dashboard not going to work. So simple query I will type. Just I need to type the simple one, index equal. You see, it will go live. Okay, if I select the 1 minute window. Let me select 5 minute window. So that going to be better. You see, we can track a spike also. This way we have a dashboard in the organization also where we are tracking the spike. If a spike going to be increased, so let me stop for now. So we can see the difference. Okay, let CPU went down for the few. Yes, Karthik. With the use of event ID, we can get a login failure attempt. Okay, so whatever activity going on in the Windows machine, okay, it generate a with the use of event ID, we can search a that that activity. Let me show you that document for you. Any single activity, any of the activity, it will generate a event ID. Let me show you. You see, this is the PDF which I have prepared for the. Here you can see. You see, these all are the event ID. If someone create a user account, so that time event ID going to be generated as a 4720. If someone enable the user, that time it's going to be generated 4722. Same way, if anyone changing the password, so it's going to be 4723. If someone reset the password, okay, reset and change both are the different. If someone reset the password, that time it will generate 4724. Same way, user account delete, disable, delete, even every single activity it generate a event ID. Okay, you see, and what I have done. Okay, we are also seeing the error code that also here, and let me show you this error code we are seeing in the logs. Okay, this error code also have a meaning sum, and I was showing you that one. What's yeah, this one you see 4625. It's a failed login attempt. Large number of these throughput or network may be indicative of the password guessing or password spraying attack. So, Satyam, no, we will not get the real IP. Okay, if okay, if attacker using the VPN and advanced VPN or proxy chain, so that definitely will not going to get the real IP. Okay, you will not going to get a real IP. Okay, guys. So that's all. Okay, already we have planned for the 1 hour, but it's almost 2 hour because this is a very big topic. If we go if we go with the cover even small attack also, if we go with the create a use cases, and if we create a more dashboard, so it will take time. Okay. Okay, Arvind, for that part, the team going to be connect with you for the PDF and other thing. And now let me. Okay, let's quickly show you the one more thing. Just a moment. Okay, guys, if you see right now, you see spike is completely down. Why? We are not performing any attack. Okay. If suppose I am going to start the performing attack. Okay. Let again, I will start the attack. Again, I need to start. Okay, just I need to type password. Let's see the difference. Okay. Again, attack has started. Now you're going to see the difference. Okay. Let me select the. You see here previously before starting the attack, that time also spike was down, and now where we have started performing the attack, that time spike what went high. Okay, right now you're seeing the different time because I have not corrected the time zone. Okay, that's why. Okay, you see my time zone is wrong. That's why it's showing morning time. Okay, I need to get now. Let me select 5 minutes. Now you see again spike is okay. Little difference we are saying. Okay, let me correct the time. Okay, then you will see the correct. Where is the Kolkata? Kolkata. Okay, sorry, it's going to be GST above. Okay, right now I'm not seeing that our location, which is GMT5. Okay. Okay, simply you see, okay. If you see where we have performed the attack, that time spike was high, and in this during this time we didn't perform according to this Windows server. You see, now again I have changed the time. You will see the different time. So this way dashboard is helping. Okay, we can create a more dashboard, and we will see. Okay, in the in the fast phase, we are seeing this little bit thing. Okay, now guys, how was the session? Did you enjoy? मजा आया सेशन में? Okay, this was the only, you can say 2 or 3%. Okay, if you join the course, okay, then you will learn more. Okay, this is the only the 2 or 3% which you have seen. Okay, if you are interested, you can join the batch, which is going to be start from the next week. And this kind of thing, this is a single attack which we have seen, and only simple dashboard we have created. We can create a many dashboard during the session if you join the course, and we will see the many attack. We will how to do the analysis of malware analysis. Okay, like malware analysis. Okay, we have to know that, like ransomware attack, Trojan malware, and also we will see the how we can create a malware. Okay, but if you join as as a SOC course, that time we can focus mostly on the defense part, not on the attack part. But yes, we will see some of the attack also, like we're going to perform the DDoS attack. Okay, also brute force, which I have shown you. Okay, but we will use some other tool also to perform the this brute force. And we will see how alert going to be generated, how we are creating the alert. Okay, in the organization, you see the alert is generating on the dashboard. So same way we create a use cases also. We will learn that part also, how we create a the dashboard or use cases. And we will integrate a firewall also. We will learn how we going to forward the firewall logs also. Okay, and after forwarding the firewall logs, we will see if we are access the if we anyone perform the SQL injection, if anyone perform the cross-site scripting. So how it going to be look like? Okay, and for the everything we have a document. Okay, every step, every practical step, everything we have a document. Okay, just let me give you the little bit overview of that document. You see, for the beginner who are the beginner in this domain, so for this I have created this document so they can easily understand. You see, what is saying your interpretation, it's understanding each part of the URL. So as a SOC analyst, what you have to look for? You see, this part also mentioned. And here we have a basic structure of the URL. Okay, like if someone is typing https login.xyzbank.com, and the other thing, what is the meaning of this URL? That part also we're going to learn here. You see, everything is there. Example, and what is the meaning? The first HTTPS means it's a protocol. So we're going to learn the what is the protocol, how many protocol is there, what is the importance of that protocol. And the second is subdomain. So login. So a specific service, what service we are looking for. Then the actual domain. Okay. And on which port? Already I told you, port is like a digital door. So any services you want to use, you have to open the port number. Okay. Then path, from where you want to access the resources. Okay. So these things, our URL giving the information. Okay. So attacker what usually target? ID, user, file, or redirect. Redirect means if you suppose you want to visit facebook.com, but attacker take you some other website, okay, with the use of redirect. These are the some pattern we are seeing in the URL. Okay, like you see a special character encoded. So the meaning of this encoded also is there. Okay, what is the meaning of that? If you see here, you see cross-site scripting we have. I have created, yeah, you see what is the meaning of that? If you're seeing in the URL percentage 27, so that's mean it's comma. Okay, and if someone using the percentage 3c, so that time you see it's less than sign. Then if you see percentage 3 is then greater than, then percentage 2f it's slash. So sometimes you're going to see the URL like this in the URL. Okay, this kind of thing. So once you complete the course, you able to do that, the decode also, this part, you see, after decoding, you're going to get the actual what attacker trying to do. So who is aware of the SQL? So they know what is the meaning of this or 1 equal to 1. So I will show you that part also I have mentioned. Where it is. You see, or 1 equal to 1 indicate SQL injection attempt. Okay. So indicator of malicious. If URL is malicious, what is the indicator? Long and complex URL. Okay. Parameter is going to be high. Okay. Repeated encoding. Suspicious keywords. Some, okay. In the place of domain name, IP address means in the place of suppose www.facebook.com. In the place of that, you are saying something IP. So that make us suspicious. Mismatch between domain and content. So what is the meaning? Suppose you have typed www.google.com, but you are seeing the content of facebook.com. Okay, that's the difference. Content means whatever page is visual to you. Okay, that we call a content. So this way you're going to get some of the study material also. Okay, so this you have, and if you want to join the course, okay, so you have to connect on this number. Okay, just like I was already told you, this is the 1% and 2% it is only. Okay, so once you join the course, you will see many more things. Okay, okay, and this was this few parts. We will see from the beginning. Okay, we will learn the types of attack also, and we learn the networking part. Then we will cover the some tools also. Then we will prepare our own lab. Okay, like I will, if you join the course, so I will guide you the how you can prepare your lab in your. So I will just ask you to share your screen and I will guide you. Okay, how you going to prepare the lab. Okay, and sometimes I'm going to share my screen also to show you. Okay, so this kind of thing you're going to see.